We got a 16 game slate for you today. The Friday parlay is back. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and it is Friday, baby. That's right. We've made it to the end of the week. And you know what that means. We got a huge show for you today. We'll get into that in a second. But how do you follow up a 5-0 day? You go 0-2. That sucked. Yep. But I hated the slate. Only 6 games. I didn't like anything about it. So unfortunately, we went 0-2. We had a bet get voided. We'll go over that here in a second. But we do have a question for you guys. So we are really curious. NFL season is around the corner. I know we got a lot of football guys out there. American football. Sorry for you soccer fans. We have some good ideas about what we want to do in our videos to help you out with your research. As you know, that's a big part of our videos. It's not just us giving bets, but we want you guys to leave a comment. Let us know some topics and research that will help you, and we may incorporate it into our videos. So we want as many ideas as possible that will help you. Football is a lot different than baseball, as you guys know, especially with stats. First couple weeks, there's not much stats out there and all that kind of stuff. So leave a comment. Let us know. That would be awesome. All right, before we dive in, smash that like button. You guys know it. Let's get 500. It's a huge Friday show. We put in a ton of work. I mean, we're working all day. We want to give you as much info as possible. Smash that like button. Appreciate it. All right, huge video. If you are new to the channel, I know we've been picking up some new subscribers lately. That's been awesome. Welcome to the channel, first of all. And here is the rundown on what we got going on in this video. We are going to go good hitter matchups for you. We are going to talk who's on fire like we do every Monday and Friday, good pitcher strikeout matchups for the day, the pitcher report to kind of put it all together, and then we end with best bets. And of course, we got that Friday parlay. So we have a lot to get into. Let's get right into it. Starts out with that bets recap page. All right, there it is. Goldie got a hit for us, but you know who let us down? Christian freaking Walker. He's on a roll, had a great matchup today, and he goes 0 for 4 like an idiot. Just joking, but that wasn't good. And then Ramirez and Turner. Ramirez's game didn't even get played, postponed, and Justin Turner wasn't in the lineup today. So altogether is a void. That was a waste of my time. Next one, George Kirby to record a win. I added that today. Our first loss with a pitcher prop, 7-1 now. Unfortunately, he had a 2-1 lead. He had a chance late in the game, and he blew the lead, and that's all she wrote. So, also the bet every game parlay, we lost it. I don't know how many we won, how many we lost, but we lost it early because Chris Sale choked and Boston couldn't hit Patrick Corbin to save their life. So you know what? It was a fun one. We bet every single game, but unfortunately, I wish it was a little closer than it was. But that's what it is. So we are 215 and 210 on the year. Let's end the week with a huge day. Let's recapture that 5-0 magic we had a couple days ago. But before we get into the good hitter matchups, a quick word from our sponsor. All right, you guys know I love me some OddsJam. We love to give you research help, and OddsJam does just that and more. It is awesome to use. It helps me every single day. And we've talked about it a lot, but I got a couple quick announcements. We have a guy coming in from OddsJam for week 1 of the NFL season. He's going to give their best bets based on that positive EV screen, which is expected value. He's going to give you their 3 best. That's something usually you get when you sign up for a plan and all that, but he's going to give it to us. And he's also going to talk a little bit about OddsJam so you guys get an idea. I know some of you guys have already signed up for OddsJam, which is absolutely awesome. I hope you're loving it. There's a ton of videos all over that website that are helpful. It's a very, very user-friendly website. So you can sign up for free and just get the all the odds across different sports books, or you can sign up for the plans. You have Fantasy Optimizer. You have the positive EV screens, like I mentioned earlier. It's player props, money lines, whatever you want, guys. There is a ton of help there. It is awesome. So if you do sign up for a plan, use Jabo as the promo code, 25% off. It is awesome. You got to use OddsJam. It helps me out too. So, anyways, that's what we got. Now it's time to talk some baseball. Let's get into the good hitter matchups. All right, let's talk some bats. We have 10 good hitter matchups for you today. That's right. So let's go to the big page. Here we go. There it is. Mark Canha leads us off 6 for 20 with 2 doubles and 2 bombs versus Heaney. As you can kind of tell, there's nobody that's hit a lot of home runs here. I think 2 is the most with Canha, and then we got Willie Adames down there. Mookie Betts, how about that? An impressive 5 for 11, 1 double and 1 bomb versus Sandy Alcantara, or Alcantara, however you pronounce that. And then some small sample sizes over there on the left, but we got 4 for 8 for Darno, 4 for 8 Fam, Seager, all that kind of stuff. So some decent matchups. For 16 games, I thought there would be a little bit more, but there just isn't. This is all we got. So Jose Ramirez is also back up on here. Obviously, he was facing Scuba yesterday, so he's facing him again today since that game got canceled. So, anyways, those are the 10 best hitter matchups we got for you today. Take a screenshot, go get some winners. But now it's time for one of my favorite segments, Who's on Fire? All right, here we go. We got a lot to get into here. We have 3 pages of hitters on fire for the last 7 days. On Monday, we will do it again for the last 15 days if you are new to this. But here we go, guys. It starts out with the man, Ken Griffey Jr. Julio Rodriguez. You get that? That's my boy J Rod. 5 for 5 yesterday. Holy crap, what a day. He has 16 ribbies. If it is in green, that means he is leading the league, at least with anybody with 21 at bats and a 340 or average or higher, because those are the, as you can see on the right, that's what all these hitters have. So Julio is just dominating. Of course, we always have a few Braves on here. How boring is that? Austin Riley, Matt Olson, and then Marcell Ozuna pops up because he's on an absolute tear as well. So we got some good ones here. Bobby Witt Jr. is unbelievable. I heard a stat today, by the way, that Bobby Witt Jr. and Julio Rodriguez are the only 2 guys in MLB history to have 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases or more in their first 2 seasons in the majors. That is unbelievable if that's true. And I believe it is that nobody has ever done it. And all of a sudden, 2 guys from the same draft class and are just coming up together, are just dominating the league. It's pretty awesome. So, anyways, that's just me rambling baseball. Sorry. But yeah, we got a lot here on the first page. You know, some of the usuals: Nolan Arenado, Simeon, Whit Merrifield hitting well again for the Blue Jays. So that's what we got on the first page. Let's move over to page number 2. And there is the average leader in the majors right now, and this is 21 at bats, 520 average, Mr. Jose Altuve, baby. I don't love him, but you know what? He's gotten us some winners. So, other than that, we got some other guys. Fernando Tatis finally hitting the ball a little bit better, but he hasn't had a great year like we all expected. But no home runs in the last week. And then Trey Turner down there is turning it around a little bit finally after his terrible first half of the year. Those Philly fans really picked him up, I guess. But yeah, other than that, not a huge amount of power on this page. I'm gonna be honest, and I don't know really who Zach Geloff is, Geloff, however you pronounce it for the A's. I really try my best to not be too familiar with Oakland A's players. No, I'm just joking. I know some of them, but good for him having a week. And then how about Jake Berger, the new guy on the Marlins, hitting 500? He is on an absolute tear right now. So, anyways, that is page 2. Take another screenshot, get some hitter prop winners, and let's go to the final page now. And there is our leader in home runs, the guy that is on my shit list right now. Christian Walker has 5 bombs, hitting 500, and decided to go 0 for freaking 4 yesterday. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate it. Riley Green, 455. He is having a sneaky good year over there in Detroit. And then so is Ezekiel Duran. He's popped up here a few times. But yeah, we got a lot of hitters hitting 400 or higher on this page. Brandon Nimmo, 476. Pretty freaking impressive. And then, yeah, that's kind of what we got. Tommy Edmond for the Cardinals. But there it is. Those are all 3 pages of hitters that are on fire in the last 7 days, 21 or more at bats, 340 average or higher. There they are. Get a ton of winners today, over the weekend. Use some of this, as you know how baseball is. You got hitters that are hot and get a lot of hits, and then they go on slump. So ride the wave, baby. That's what we got. Now it's time for the good pitcher strikeout matchups. All right, let's talk some arms. We have 3 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you today. It starts with Mr. Gavin Williams of the Guardians going up against the Tigers. Detroit, ninth highest strikeout percentage versus righties in the last 30 days at 24.2%. Gavin Williams, 59 Ks in 54.2 innings. In his last 2 games, he had 12 and 10 strikeouts against the Rays and the Blue Jays. He's had a hell of a season. I think it's his rookie year this year. He's a youngster, pitching really well for the Guardians. Next one, Michael Kopech of the White Sox versus the Rockies. Rockies have the highest strikeout percentage in the majors versus righties the last 30 days at 29.3%. Kopech, 116 Ks in 112 innings. Trust at your own risk. He's a little inconsistent, but just had to point that out because the Rockies strike out more than anybody else in the league right now against righties. The last one, probably the best one of the day, Pablo Lopez versus the Pirates. Pirates' fourth highest K percentage versus righties in the last 30 days at 27.2%. And Mr. Pablo Escobar, 180 Ks in 147.2 innings. Those are the best pitcher strikeout matchups And now it's time for the pitcher report. Okay, we got 16 games. Here are the first 8 matchups that we have. If you are new to this, all the columns are up above. You can see we got ERA, expected ERA, whip, K percentage, and the walk percentage. At the bottom is the starting pitcher average, just so you have something to base it off of. But here we go. Michael Lorenzen coming off a no hitter. That's right. Throwing a million pitches, too. I love to fade guys off a no hitter. We'll see if I do this time, going up against the Nationals and Adon. But yeah, Lorenzen's had a one hell of a season. And then we got Brian Bayo trying to get back on track against the Yankees, who do not have a pitcher listed yet. And the man, the mustache himself, Spencer Strider, with 37.9% K rate. He has given up some runs this year, though. It's kind of ruining his Cy Young chances right now. But he hasn't struck out many in the last 2 games, but before that, he was unbelievable. So we'll see if he can get back on track. And then, of course, Brandon Woodruff is now back for the Milwaukee Brewers. He has for a few starts now, and he's right back to his old self, pitching really, really well. So those are the first 8 matchups that we got for you today. Take a screenshot. Hopefully, this helps you guys get some winners, whether you're betting K props, walk props, or first 5 innings, or whatever it is. I hope this can help you out. Now, let's go to the second page. Here are the next matchups. We got some good ones here for you today. A little Alcantara and Gonsolin. It's not that good, to be honest with you. Alcantara's been a little bit better lately. I expect some runs in that game, though. I'm not going to lie. There's the Dodgers just got shut out by Corbin Burns yesterday, so I expect them to have a little bit of bounce back. And then Luis Medina, he's pitching a little bit better. I've made fun of him all year. And by the way, if you have not heard the song "Funky Cole Medina" by Tone Loc, you got to go check it out, guys. Tone Loc, "Funky Cole Medina." That was a great CD. I had it when I was a little younger. But anyways, other than that, there's not a ton of high strikeout guys today. We do have Pablo Lopez, at obviously 30%. Thompson for the Cardinals, don't get confused. He's like a bullpen guy, I believe. So he's not going to go deep into that game. But we got a lot of low strikeouts. That's why there wasn't a lot of good pitcher strikeout matchups today. And then we got 2 pitchers struggling in San Diego, and Brandon Fat and Seth Lugo. But yeah, like I said earlier, there's a doubleheader, Detroit and Cleveland. So that is the second game on the bottom there on this page, and Joey Lucchesi for the Mets and Thompson. You know what? Yesterday we said there's going to be a lot of runs in Mets and Cardinals probably, and there wasn't. So who the hell knows with those offenses and those teams? They are pretty inconsistent. So, anyways, that's what we got, guys. Those are the 16 matchups. Take some screenshots of this one. Let's get some winners. And now it is finally time for the best bets. All right, game number one takes us out to the ATL. We got the Giants at the Braves. Braves money line minus 200. Giants money line plus 168 with an over under of 8.5 runs. My best bet in this game, it is chalky as all chalk. Braves minus 1.5 at plus 100. Let's dive into the matchup. We got Alex Corn on the cob on the mound for the Giants, guys. He's struggling lately. He pitched better earlier this year, but he's given up 6 home runs in his last 3 starts, and he's usually a ground ball pitcher. That's not a good sign for him. He has given up 14 earned runs in his last 15.2 innings, including 20 hits over those 15.2 innings. So it just hasn't been pretty lately for Cobb, and now he is running into the best offense on planet Earth. Braves offense in the last 30 days versus righties, second best WRC plus. I don't need to give you everything, guys. They're absolutely loaded. They're unbelievable. On the other side is Mr. Spencer Strider. He's one of the best pitchers in the league, as most of you already know, and he's got a great mustache to go with it. Last 2 games, though, he's kind of struggled in the K department. He had 3 and 6 strikeouts. So he had 9 strikeouts and 7 walks. Now, they were both on the road. That matters a little bit for him, but I expect a bounce back game now. He's coming home. I'll tell you another reason why, but before those 2 games, he had 9 plus strikeouts in 8 straight games. He was missing a ton of bats. I expect him to do well this game. He is way too good of a pitcher. He's going to get his control back. He's a better pitcher at home, and he's going up against the Giants offense. Let me just tell you how good or not good they have been in the last 30 days. How about dead last in the league versus righties in the last 30 days in WRC plus, and dead last in the league in batting average, hitting 207 as a team. They are absolutely freaking pathetic on offense right now, especially against righties. So this is a great bounce back spot. I think Strider gets a lot of Ks. I think he gets these guys out pretty easily. I think the Braves cruise, guys. This is a huge starting pitcher mismatch, and the better offense is Iron Flow. We're talking about in the last 30 days, probably the best offensive league versus the worst offensive league. So I love that you're getting plus 100 at minus 1.5. So that is my first best bet. Let's move on to game number two. All right, game number two takes us out to Oakland in that ugly ass stadium they have. We got the Orioles at the A's, Baltimore money line minus 186, Oakland money line plus 156 with an over under of 8.5 runs. Do not hate me. I can't believe this is my best bet, but I am taking the Oakland A's plus a half a run in the first 5 innings at minus 114. All right, Kyle Gibson is on the mound for the Orioles. He's been average at best this year for the Orioles. He hasn't been very good, coming off a game where he just gave up 9 earned runs to the Mariners. In this season overall, he's given up 31% hard contact. He's striking out less than 20% of the batters and giving up a little over 9 hits per 9 innings. It just hasn't been that good for Kyle Gibson, honestly. This A's offense, whatever you think about this A's team, the offense is at least competing. They're like right in the middle of the league against right-handed pitchers in the last 30 days. So they're going to put up some runs. I think they're not going to have any issue. But on the other side now, we got Luis Funky Cole Medina. That's right. He has been better lately. This is a guy I trashed earlier on in the year. The A's are using him really well, where he's throwing about 4 or 5 innings and then they're yanking him out. In his last 23.1 innings, he's given up 7 earned runs. It has not been bad. He had a 2.86 ERA in the month of July. Just saying how good he is. Now, here's the crazy part. Also, he has a better ERA at home. It's a little over 4, which isn't phenomenal, but he has like a 6.5 ERA on the road. So the Orioles offense, I'm going to say this out loud. This is going to be weird. The Orioles offense in the last 30 days is worse than the A's offense. They are 26 WRC plus. That is weighted runs created plus, kind of an overall way to see to kind of determine how good your offense is at creating runs. And they're also 25th in OPS. So they're not showing a lot of power. They're not hitting the ball well. I mean, I'm not saying the A's are a better team here, guys. We're talking one game. Orioles offense is much better than the A's over the course of the season. But right now, we're catching the Orioles in a slump, and I think the pitching matchup is what, a wash probably right now with how what form each pitcher is in. So even starting pitchers and maybe even lineups with the A's are hitting a little bit better lately. I will gladly take plus a half a run after the first 5 innings. That means if they are tied after 5 innings, we win this bet. So that's all we need. A's, I don't usually bet you. Please don't let me down. So that's my second bet. Let's move on to that third game. All right, before we get into bet number three, just want to let you know that the A's first five money line is actually one of the highest positive EV on OddsJam. It's not quite the exact same bet I did. I did plus a half a run in the first 5 innings, but the A's first five money line is one of their best bets that they recommend at good value. So just letting you know, doesn't mean it wins every time, but long term, it's a good way to look at it. So here we go. Miami at the LA Dodgers. Dodgers money line minus 142. Miami money line plus 120 with an over under of 8.5 runs. My best bet in this game is the over 8.5 runs at minus 110. Let's get into the matchup. We got Sandy Alcantara on the mound for the Marlins. He's been a little bit better lately, but he's still not his old self when he won the Cy Young last year. Let me just tell you real quick also, in his last 3 starts in Los Angeles, it has not been good. 10 innings, 20 earned runs given up. That is an 18 ERA. He doesn't do well in LA, and that was even when he was a better pitcher than he is now. 4.56 ERA on the road this season for Sandy. 13 home runs given up on the road compared to just 4 at home. So that's not a good sign when you're going up against this offense. He is giving up around 30% hard contact, and he also struggles with guys on base. He's giving up a 290 average with guys on base as opposed to a 218 without guys on base. I say that because the Dodgers know how to put guys on base, whether it's walking, getting hits. This is one of the best offenses in the league. On the other side, Tony Gonsolin, Tony Sperano. You ever seen The Sopranos? That's a great show. Um, this isn't his best year. I'm not gonna lie. He's been pretty good late or his last couple years, and this year I thought he was due for some positive regression, but he's just not. He's never been a strikeout pitcher, but he's giving up more hard contact, right around 30% now. He's walking almost 9% of batters, and he's giving up 39.7% ground balls, which is not a high rate, just so you guys know. When you have a guy who's not missing bats, not giving up a lot of ground balls, it just doesn't make for a good combo. You got some hot hitters like Jake Berger on the other side. You still got Jorge Soler. You got good hitters on this Miami team. So I think they can put up some runs. I think the Dodgers are going to do most of the heavy lifting, but over 8.5, I think it's too low. It's going to be good weather in LA. I like it. Give me over 8.5 as my third and final bet. But Now it is time for the Friday parlay. All right, sound the alarms. We got a Friday parlay, baby. That's right. Three legs plus 344. Here we go. Braves team total over 4.5. Over 7.5 Rays and Angels, and the Mariners team total over 3.5. I'm just going to talk about each one really briefly. Braves team total over 4.5. We already talked about this already. Alex Cobb is struggling. This offense is absolutely loaded. Marcell Ozuna is like on a 10, 12 game hitting streak, somewhere crazy like that. So I love the Braves to score a lot of runs again. Over 7.5 Rays and Angels. That is an alternate line. So in case you're going to comment below, that's not the line. I know it's at like 9.5 now. It's gone up. I'm taking 7.5. We got Erasmo Ramirez, ex Mariner, versus the lefty Tyler Anderson. We're talking about guys who have a 5.72 ERA and a 5.28 ERA, guys. They're not very good. I know that doesn't tell everything. Expected ERAs are right around there too. We got two decent offenses and good weather in LA. I'm taking all the way down to 7.5 with an Angels bullpen that is just terrible. So I love the over 7.5. That's kind of one of my safer bets in this parlay. And the last one, God help me, I'm going with my own team. The Mariners team total over 3.5. They have had the fifth best offense in the league versus righties in the last 30 days. That's right. They are smoking hot, including my boy Julio Rodriguez, as we already talked about. They get 9 guaranteed at bats on the road, which is very helpful. And you know what? The Astros might score some runs too. And when you're betting a team total, you want the other team to score too. You want it to kind of be chasing each other. You want what am I saying? A scoring partner, whatever you want to say. I don't know. It's late. It's like midnight right now. But anyways, JP France is on the mound for the Astros. He's been pretty solid in regards to how many runs he's given up. A low ERA under 3, but he is due for some negative regression. And now you have the hot Mariners lineup coming to town. So all they got to do is get 4 runs in 9 innings. That's all we're asking. So I like it. Braves team total over 4.5, over 7.5. Rays Angels. Mariners team total over 3.5 at plus 344. Man, are we due for a Friday parlay winner? So that's it. That was fun. That is the baseball journey today. Let's go to that bets recap. There it is. Braves minus 1.5 at plus 100. A's. Good Lord, what am I doing? Plus a half a run in the first 5 innings. Over 8 Marlins Dodgers, and then that beautiful Friday parlay I just mentioned. How sweet would it be to go 4-0? Man, I want it. I may add a hitter parlay tomorrow. I've been looking at Mookie Betts, Marcell Ozuna, guys like that. So just letting you know, I don't have anything set in stone. Maybe Julio Rodriguez. I didn't see one pop up on FanDuel yet for him. I also kind of like Julio over 1.5 bases. Just letting you guys know. But anyways, that is it. Thank you for all the support for another phenomenal week. For you, those of you that are new to the channel, we don't do these long videos on Saturday and Sunday. We gotta have family time. We got kids, wives, all that kind of stuff. And these videos do take a while to prepare for. So that's what we got. I'll do a short and I'll always drop some bets on premium Discord for everybody. So, anyways, don't forget to leave a comment about the NFL video, what you guys want help with your research. Thanks again. Hope you guys have a great Friday and a great weekend. We'll talk to you later.